down to Statesboro, Georgia, talk to Georgia Southern Eagles head coach, Coach Chad Lunsford. He was interim coach now. Now he's the full-time man down there in Statesboro. Coach, my man, how you doing, man? You better get that full-time gig now, Coach.
Man, I'm doing great. Just down here grinding.
I hear that, Coach. I hear that, man. And your grind, Coach, is just so wonderful. Seeing how where you coached it, position coaches here, your director of scouting at Auburn, and now you grinded to being a special teams coach, tight end coach. Now you're the head man. So, Coach, when they told you we're gonna make you the head coach full time, man, how did that make you feel, brother?
Oh, it was it's been an unbelievable journey, man. I've always wanted to be a head coach, and I wanted to work my way up and learn from guys that I've worked for. And, to get this opportunity at such a great place, just really fired up. We got off to a great start in January and, looking forward to hitting the practice fields this coming week for spring ball.
Now, Coach, we've talked to a lot of first-time head coaches over the years, and one of the things they always mention is that it seems like a whirlwind once they get that job. Now, is it a little bit different feeling for you because you had time, with the interim title and a little bit of time under your belt as the head coach there? So has it been a little bit easier of a transition for you, or has it been kind of a whirlwind just like everybody else feels?
I could imagine if I would have got the head job at a place I haven't been, I could really see it being a whirlwind. Now it did come fast. You got the interim title, and then when you get the full-time job, there's a lot of things you got to think through. You got to make sure you got right. But I think the biggest thing that helped me was just, the many years that I have been at Georgia Southern and just knowing the place inside and out. And, I thought it made an easier transition for me.
Yeah, Coach, familiarity is always a great thing, Coach, And I feel like for you as well, the players know you, they trust you, and it probably helps you in recruiting, keep guys on the roster and in-house, not transfer out of it because they knew you, trusted you, and they knew you as a man that they can look to and lead them going forward.
Yeah, no doubt. Anytime that you have transition, especially if it's somebody from the outside, you worry about, losing guys on your current team. And those types of losses for us have been very, very minimal. And, so it's that's definitely something good. Now, what I'll say is, those guys, they really got behind me when I got the interim title. And, there's no doubt there's, two things that I know in my mind that helped me get this job. It was God and it was these players.
Yes, indeed. And you know what, Coach? Having God on the players on your side is the best thing to have because, without the Lord, nothing happens. Players can vouch for you, tell the administration about how you are as a person, how Coach Lunsford looks out for us. He's a man of his word. He's a man of God. He'll lead us to the promised land. I feel like, Coach, that helps you a lot because having guys on your side always is good when it comes time when the administration tries to figure out who to hire, who not to hire.
Yeah, it's no doubt it. The great thing about it, these guys started to buy in toward the end of the season last year, and so that made it an easier transition. And obviously I brought in some new coaches and things like that. So you got to get those relationships built with the new guys that come in with our players, and so we put a lot of emphasis on that in the early part of the year and making sure that, we went out recruiting, but we were doing a good job recruiting our guys and making sure our guys understood that we care about them and we want them to succeed on and off the field. And, having them with their support at the end of last season, it's made it a whole lot easier going into this new year, this new era, with everybody on the same page.
Now, Coach, JR and I are always curious to know when we speak to first-time head coaches such as yourself, where did your motivation come from? Who are some of the coaches or individuals who you've crossed paths with throughout your career that have had the greatest impact on you in your career, both personally and professionally?
Well, there's many guys out there, and there's several that I could pinpoint, and there's several that I reached out to when I got the interim job. But if I was going to pick two of them, I spent a lot of time talking to Coach Gene Chizik, who was the head man at Auburn when I was there. And then I spent a lot of time talking to Coach Willie Fritz, who used to be the head coach here, now the head coach at Tulane. I've really respect those guys and the way they ran their program, their organization, skills, and, just the way they led. And so I've spent a lot of time drawing back things from when from what they did, but also getting on the phone and talking with them.
Now, Coach, as you look at that college football landscape, how do you foresee yourself marketing the program to try and keep that? There's a lot of talented young men in the state of Georgia. Keep them home, keep them playing in state and playing for you while going after guys that you could potentially target on a national recruiting scale as well.
Yeah, we put a lot of emphasis on our relationships with the high school coaches in the state of Georgia, and we're looking forward to getting out this spring, or all the assistant coaches, and and just continuing to build those relationships. And one of the big pieces right now is we did a lot during January, but make sure our doors are open to all those guys. But if you go back and look at it, this past signing class, of all the FBS Division I schools in the state of Georgia, we had the highest percentage of Georgia players in our signing class, and that's something that we're very proud of. I mean, at Georgia Southern, if we stay within a 4 and 5 hour radius of this place, we're going to get good football players, and we don't really have to go much further outside of that.
You got that right, Coach Lunsford. You got that right. We got Chad Lunsford, the coach, Georgia Southern Eagles on the Bossman Showdown, Statesboro, Georgia. You got to go down and check those guys out. Looking forward to spring practice, Coach. What are you trying to accomplish with these young men here? Are you trying to set a standard for them early, build this foundation in your culture? And so what's kind of the goals for you guys in spring practice here going forward?
Well, obviously the culture piece and how we're going to run our program and all that, that started in January. But going into spring ball, one thing that we want to make sure that we are kind of our motto or mantra this year is win. And basically we use that as an acronym of what's important now. Last year, not a very good season for us. And lots of times we would hang on things in the past and, not really move on from it. And so we're talking about, our process is, hey, we're going to learn from the past. We're going to work for the future, but we're going to live in the moment. And so, it's all about, getting their mind right daily. All right, what's important for us today? What do we've got to do today? And I know it's cliche with all coaches that talk about the process, but I think it's very important to this team that we don't get too far ahead of ourselves. I know last week our schedule came out and, everybody was excited about it and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, we hadn't talked about it, man. We're like, all right, what's important today? What as soon as we wake up, what's the first thing we got to do? And that's on and off the field. And we just want to make sure that, but going into spring ball, we're going to have a goal each and every day. And, we're going to have a team meeting each and every day, and we're going to say, hey, this is what we're working on. This is what we're going to do. And so we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves, and we're going to make sure daily that we know what we're trying to be prepared for.
Well, Coach, I don't believe it's cliche at all, Coach. As a leader, like I'm leader of this radio show in this station here. So I have to set a tone and a process. So I'm with you. I believe in the process day by day, daily touch points, setting the goals for the day. So for John and myself and my staff, it's not cliche because they know me from day one, hour one. I'm setting a standard for you from when you get in this building.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And what's important for us is if we're going to do it that way with our guys, and we're going to make sure that we as coaches have to be organized every day, from the strength coach to the trainer to the equipment manager, to everybody that touches them. We got to make sure we got everything in line and in order. So we're doing a good job of making sure that we're, one step ahead so that when we start to communicate the message, it is very clear, very concise, and our players can, take it and run with it.
Now, Coach, looking on the field a little bit now, as we go into the 2018 season and beyond, have there been any rules that have stuck out to you that you'd like to see the rules committee look at, maybe instituting new rules or make existing rules better that might help the game as far as, from a player's perspective on the field, a fan's perspective watching the game, a coach's perspective on the sideline? Is there anything that you touch on or tweak?
I hadn't put a lot of thought into that. I'm the type of guy, man, when they decide, which way they want to roll with it, I just make sure that we're coaching it so that we, don't make the mistake or we take advantage of the rule and making sure that we are, doing what we need to do. If I had to pick one, probably the biggest thing is the targeting foul. I think that one is tough. I do like the fact that they get in a position that they can replay it and then they can make sure on it and all that kind of stuff. But, I just think, you got to really look at it. You got to really look at it closely, because lots of guys, man, sometimes it's just a reaction. It's just instinct. And so, that can directly affect the game when that thing happens. I mean, if it happens in the second half, now you've lost your player for the first half of the next game. And, I don't know if there's a good answer to it, but I would like to see where we could, fix that thing a little bit so that, if it's one of those deals where it's not intentional and it's not, anything that's just of violent nature that, was done on purpose, not punishing them as much, So, I don't know the right answer, but I would say being able to look at that and make that a little bit better would be something that would help.
Yeah, see, for that one, I always thought that they should do a graduated penalty on that one, because it is such a subjective call. I mean, there's plenty of times where in the course of action you're going to have helmet-to-helmet contact, and it's incidental, like you said. It's not to say it shouldn't be penalized, so the young men learn not to take that action next time, like maybe get themselves in a better tackling position. But at the same time, like you said, you might lose a player, even if you lose him in the first half. If it's a key guy on your defense, I mean, that's that could have a huge impact on the game. So I tend to agree with you on that one, Coach. I always thought it should be a graduated penalty, but we'll see what happens with that. I wanted to get in with you a little bit about your typical day as the head coach. Now, have you seen it change a little bit since you've been, lost that interim tag? Or are you just rolling on same modus operandi as you were before? Nothing's changed, or has there been a little bit of shift now that you have that stability behind you?
I still try to work the same way. I'm still the same dude. I try to put a to-do list together, the night before I go to bed so that I'm ready to roll the next day. But honestly, being the head man, I pull out that to-do list, and then things start going, opposite directions sometimes. And so you kind of got to roll with the punches on that kind of stuff. But, and a lot of that was because of early on. And then, as everybody started understanding what we were wanting, what we were doing, the process, and, making sure the staff is on the same page, days have become a little bit more normal now. And then you're able to, kind of attack those things. And I gotta practice exactly what I preach, to our guys. If I'm gonna say, hey, what's important now? That's the same thing. Because it's very easy for me to get 6 and 7 months down the road, just trying to think about things. But sometimes you got to step back and say, all right, let me make sure I take care of what's important today, and then I can move and work toward the future when it's time.
Coach Lunsford, I tell you what, man, we're happy for you down there in Statesboro, Coach, and we're forward to have you on the show again real soon. We want to definitely touch base with you before spring ball started. Glad you're our first coach of the year on the show, man. You're the first one for this year, Coach, so we're glad you was our maiden interview of this year for college football, man.
Man, I'm excited. Appreciate y'all having me on, man, and anytime, I'd love to spread the word about Georgia Southern anytime I can.
Yes, indeed, Coach. Coach, you take it easy. We'll talk to you real soon, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. As Georgia Southern people on the Bossman Show, check them out. We out.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hello, college basketball fans. This is Donnie Tyndall, former head basketball coach, and we're getting ready to have a top 3 with Tyndall with JR the Bossman and John, myself, as we analyze the college basketball season team by team, break down stats and facts, and give you all the basketball scoop across the country on a weekly basis. We hope you'll join us and look forward to talking hoops with you on the Bossman Show.
hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
What's good? Back on the Bossman Show, Top 3 with Tyndall. Me and Coach Donnie Tyndall here to talk to you about college basketball, conference tournament, March Madness is in full swing, Coach. It's going to be a big time in the next 2 weeks here with the conference tournament games, the 64 round going. So, Coach, talk to me, man. How's your week been, and what you looking forward to this weekend so far?
Well, I tell you, obviously there's been some great tournaments. You know, most of the mid-major type tournaments were this past week or finished up earlier this week, Bossman. And, you know, some great tournaments around the country. Seems like every single year there's always some buzzer beaters, which leads to some ecstatic teams that are living the dream and some heartbroken teams that, you know, can't get over the dramatic defeat that they just took. So a lot of fun. And then once you get into these high major tournaments, as you know, at-large bursts are on the line. Teams that are on the bubble are either playing their way into the tournament, or if they're getting beat or upset, unfortunately, maybe playing their way out of the tournament. So every game is so exciting and so pivotal this time of year, that's for sure.
Now, Coach, in Tennessee, your boys went a good run, but, Coach, did playing those back-to-back games, your team pretty much ran out of gas? Because I know if you play it first night, you get over to Friday, Saturday, your team may be out of gas.
Well, you know, it certainly depends on the makeup of your team. Are you playing guys that are playing 38, 39, 40 minutes a night, particularly in your backcourt? That takes its toll on their legs in regard to shooting the basketball and being able to defend late in the game. But, you know, if your team is made up of a team where you're playing 9, 10, 11 guys, which usually isn't the case, but if it is, then playing 3 or 4 games in a row certainly isn't a problem. You know, the thing that for the most part was good for us and the teams I was part of when we were at Morehead State and Southern Miss were we were usually in the first top 2 or 4 teams in the league, and so we were at least getting a first round bye. In some instances, we were getting that double bye, which in a mid-major league is just so important. So you'd prefer not to have to play 3 or 4 nights in a row. But I think if you asked any coach this time of year, as long as they're still hooping, they're happy.
Yeah, and I was shocked because at Wright State, Scott Nagy, he pretty much plays seven guys, and I know they play in the Horizon League, and I'm like, man, this guy plays pretty much seven dudes, and they won the conference tournament, and you got to play back-to-back days.
Yeah, and I look back on my 2009 team that went to the NCAA tournament for the first time at Morehead State, and we won a game, the play-in game, and then played Louisville the next round. We got beat that next round, but we were playing 9 or 10 guys on that team, and depth and being tired or fatigued never came into play. Now, 2 years later, in 2011, we beat Louisville in the first round of the tournament to get to the round of 32, and we were only playing 7 guys. But fortunately, in the conference tournament that year, we only had to play 2 games because we were co-champs for the regular season title with Murray State, so we were one of the top 2 seeds, and we got the double bye, which meant we only had to play 2 games to go to the NCAA tournament. So that was beneficial. Give Coach Nagy credit, because when you're having to play 3 games in 3 nights with only 7 guys, you got some mentally tough dudes, and I think they proved that the other night. I believe it was last night with a great win in the championship game against Cleveland State.
Now, Coach, you're going to love this when I tell you this. All this Bossman show karma here, Coach. We've had on Scott Nagy, we've had on Casey Alexander, Derek Kellogg, Earl Grant, Wes Miller. We've had on T.J. Otzelberger. We had on Mike Jones at Radford. All these guys in the tournament, Coach. So the show has a way of getting people, giving him good karma and a good push, Coach. I'm noticing that right now.
That's that boss man magic, man. That's what I call it, that boss man magic.
Yeah. I'll forget. I can't forget. Matt McMahon of the Racers has been on the show. He's in the tournament now, too.
Well, I tell you what, some good coaches and good people you just mentioned. I'm happy for all those guys. I've been there a couple times and know how exciting it is, and especially when you're going for the first time in 20, 30 years like some of those schools you just mentioned. Boy, I tell you what, the whole community rallies around you. It's the time of your life as a coach and as a student athlete, no question about that.
Now, Coach, do you all got a kind of feel about your seed, or do you don't really know? Or the guys kind of give you like a hint? Maybe you're going to be a 15, you're going to be a 16, play-in game, first 4. Do you get a sense of it beforehand, or you just don't really know?
Well, my first year, we had won 19. We were the 4th seed in the OVC, so we felt like when we got in the play-in game, which we ended up being exactly that. So we were kind of preparing ahead of time. They had a whole week before the actual selection Sunday came up, and we felt like, hey, here's a couple teams. We feel like we could play. We had already, got some film work done on those teams, and then when we played Alabama State, we were actually ready to go that night for practice and had a quick turnaround, just Sunday night, Monday practice, and played, I believe it was on Tuesday. So we were a little bit ahead of the curve, kind of having a sense that we would be in the play-in game. Now the following year, or 2 years later, when we got in the second time, we actually got the 13th seed, which totally surprised us. We thought we would be a 14, possibly a 15, but did not expect to be a 13. But we played a really, really challenging non-conference slate, so we got a 13 seed, which ended up being perfect. We played Louisville in the first round, and like I said, got that huge, huge win for our program and our school. But I think unless you feel like you're going to be a 16, and everyone will kind of know by then who the number 1 seeds are going to be, it's hard to know if you're going to be a 14 or a 15 or a 12 or a 13. And so you just got to kind of roll with the punches and wait till your name is called and start your prep work and game film work and all those things the minute that thing's announced.
Now, Coach, how do you balance rest versus keeping your team sharp during this period, especially like an OVC or the ASUN where you're done on Saturday? So you pretty much have a week before you know who you're going to play. So how do you balance that rest versus keeping your team sharp?
Well, in the 2 instances at Morehead State, we had, just as you said, about a week before we actually were going to have to find out who we would play, and probably about 9 days before we would actually play, maybe 10. And so I gave them 2 days off. We played, I believe, the title game was on a Saturday. We gave them completely off Sunday and Monday, told guys we don't want you in the gym, don't come by the office, don't get shots up, just get away from the game for 48 hours. And then we came back on that Tuesday, had a weight session, an individual skill development session, watched a little bit of film from the tournament that we just played in, and then we kind of started getting back into it fairly hard and competitive on Wednesday. So they had basically a 3-day window where it was pretty much rest and recovery and getting their mind kind of refreshed and regrouped heading into the NCAA tournament. So everyone has their own way of doing things. I think there is a delicate balance either way you try to go with it, JR, but that's the route we went both years, and ended up being pretty successful for us.
Exactly. Now, Coach, the last one I got for you is for the kids. What's the experience like for those kids when they go through their whole tournament process, and how did the kids really enjoy it in preparing for that challenge to go play in the tournament, and then having your guys actually get an upset? So how did your Morehead State team love that, the whole experience of actually getting in, beating your in-state, one of the big dogs in state, and getting to go in the extra round?
Well, it's an exhilarating time. It really is on your campus. I remember seeing videos when we were playing the OVC title game, and Steve Peterson hit a baseline jumper the first year in 2009 in double overtime to win the game for us. And people were literally on the tables at Buffalo Wild Wings and Morehead screaming and going crazy. And I saw these videos after the fact, of course. And then, the whole week your community is posting up signs and banners, and people are bringing by cookies, and everyone's patting you on the back. And it really is just a great time and a very prideful time for you and your team and your family and everyone involved. And then when we were able to beat Louisville, which was the biggest win in the history of the program, and a lot of people say one of the biggest upsets in the history of college basketball, I saw literally videos of people running out of their dorm room on campus, hugging each other and just screaming and going crazy. And so, at the time, it's very thrilling. It's like I said, exhilarating. You're prideful about it. But I tell you, when it really resonates, JR, is years later when you're still getting text messages and Facebook posts from people saying this was one of the best times of their life, or this is a memory they'll never forget. Those things are very humbling. And yet when you're at a small school like a Morehead State, you understand in hindsight just how big of a moment that was, not just for you and your team, but the community of Morehead, the campus community, and all the alums across the country that took such great pride in that. And these schools you just mentioned, the Wright States, the Lipscombs of the world, all these people, the Murray States, they have a chance to go make that special moment for their community and their alums as well. And so they need to embrace every second of it, because I don't know that I did that at the time, but I certainly know how important and valuable those moments were in hindsight, for sure.
Well, Coach, definitely be watching these games real close here, Coach. Next week we'll break down these brackets some more, but want to kind of talk about this week the mid-majors and the guys that have been high majors in that tournament. So, Coach, you did a great job as always, my man. We got to talk to you next week. Coach, I hope to be recovered from my birthday celebration on this weekend. 31 years old coming up this weekend, so hopefully I'll be recovered about time to showtime next week, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my team. I'm going to tell you what I tell my daughters. Have fun, but stay out of jail, boss man. Stay out of jail.
I sure will do that, Coach, for sure. I sure will. I sure will, man. Hey, buddy, thank you as always. We'll talk to you next week, man.
All right, brother. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is a simple one. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft. Whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft, Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success, and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.
All right, folks, today on Three Man Weave, J.C. Smith, Beckler is snowed in with no power in Cleveland, man. That blizzard got him tied up. He can't get to the studio. So, today's me and J.C. Bro, what's good, man?
Man, what's going on, boss?
Man, birthday week, bro. Birthday week. Chilling, man. Looking forward to getting out of town here shortly and getting the celebration going.
Oh, that's what's up, man. I wish I was down there party with you, man.
Oh, you know it's going to be crazy. Josephine Lounge on Friday, Chit Chat on Saturday, when we're going to be at the Gold Room on Sunday, which is my birthday.
Hey, I already know, man. It's going to be wagons everywhere, man.
You got there right on Wagon Weekend, bro. Wagon Weekend.
No doubt, man.
Bro, I wanted to talk to you today about the Memphis situation, bro. I read a story about Penny Hardaway bringing Larry Brown, possibly replacing Tubby Smith. Man, what's going on with the University of Memphis right now? The Tigers, man, they want to already get rid of Tubby, man. What's been the ill issue with them going forward with him?
Well, in the illustrious words of A-Ball and MJG, I'm talking on the phone, telling Penny that's the way you do it, baby. Represent your home. Hey, man. Hey, listen, it's a beautiful thing, man. You know, Penny, you know, is beloved here in this city, man, for, you know, growing up here, born and raised here, man, growing up, going to Treadwell High School here in Memphis, being a star there, to being a star at University of Memphis, man, being an All-American and doing what he did in the NBA, man. You know, he's a favorite son here locally. So, you know, but it's only, you know, it's a smart move. It's the only move, really, the Tigers can do to really restore the faith back in Tiger fans, man, because this basketball program has been on a lull, as you very well know, ever since Calipari left and then passed there. He did the best he could do. But, you know, Memphis fans are used to having a prominent Memphis basketball program. So you bring Penny back, man, that's going to instantly bring back the fans. It's going to increase ticket sales. He's going to bring those number one All-American recruits that he currently has on that East High School
basketball squad. He's got the number one player in the country between 19 in James Wiseman. He's got DJ Jeffries, a top 50 prospect in the country, man. Chandler Lawson, another top 50 guy, man. So you could potentially have all three of those guys on University of Memphis basketball team within the next year or two. So, it's a no-brainer for the Tigers to go ahead and make this move. And, no diss or nothing like that towards Tubby Smith, but he's a older coach, from a bygone era who really, at this point has no motivation to go out there and try to recruit top talent because he's getting, guaranteed money anyway, no matter how it goes. So, you bring in fresh blood, new blood, a guy that everybody loves here in Memphis, and I think the Tigers could be right back in the thick of things of being a top 25 college program as soon as they bring Penny aboard.
Why was Tubby Smith even hired? Like, what was the thought process of bringing him in? Like, he was a retread, been in many places. What was the thought process of bringing him in after Paston left?
After Paston left, that definitely went bad. After a couple of years, 6 seasons, we had 6 years here with Paston. So, after about the fourth or fifth year, you could tell the writing was on the wall to get Paston out of here. But of course, he had the buyout in his contract that the Tigers really didn't want to pay, but they, once Georgia Tech kind of got them off the hook there a little bit by signing or bringing Paston down there, that kind of opened the door for the Tigers to go out and try to find the next head coach. And, Tubby Smith being a retread, but also Tubby Smith being a name, that's associated with winning basketball games. Because, you're talking about a guy who does have a national championship under his belt, who has been to multiple NCAA tournaments. Of course, it wasn't a name. It wasn't a sexy name or anything like that, but it did have recognition at the time. But Tubby went wrong on a couple of accounts here in the city of Memphis. First off, he didn't really know the tradition of Memphis basketball, so he came into the situation thinking that he could just kind of be like a mediocre recruiter and basically bring in not top 50, not top 100, not even top 300 recruits. Bringing in guys that are all JC players and transfers. So I think he really kind of he dropped the ball there, not really knowing the history of Memphis basketball and how the fans here are used to having, top-notch product on the court. And also, Tubby went wrong by not reaching out to, people here, his resources that could have helped him recruit Memphis kids. Because if you're going to be a Memphis head basketball coach, you have to have a couple of Memphis kids on your program. And he didn't realize how important that was. So he dropped the ball there. And then also the fact that all these kids transferred. The decent talent the Tigers did have while Paston was here, all those guys are gone now. They all transferred, and Tubby really, really did not try to make an effort to keep those guys. So those are really three accounts there of where Tubby he dropped the ball, and the team is suffering because of it. They are over 500, yes, but you're talking about a team that is ranked currently, I think, 160th in KenPom, the KenPom ranking. So, Tubby, he got his money. He's like a golden parachute right now. It's basically a retirement fund for Tubby Smith. He really doesn't have any incentive to really go out there and recruit hard or anything like that. So I think it's going to be the best thing for both parties. Let Tubby go elsewhere. I heard his alma mater, High Point, they don't have a coach right now. So he could possibly go to High Point and be the coach there. And you bring in Penny, and it's an overnight success for the Tigers. You talk about fandom just going crazy and pandemonium here in the city of Memphis. As soon as they say Penny will be the next head coach at the University of Memphis, man, it's going to turn things around just that quick.
Now, comparison. Who's drawing more fans, Tigers or Grizzlies?
Right now, that's a good question. Right now, honestly, I think it's about neck and neck. You're talking about a Tiger team right now that's bringing in, 6,000 fans on average. The Grizz right now, of course, with the injuries and everything that's been going on, the Grizz are probably right around by 10,000, 11,000. So it's really kind of neck for neck right now. And also, the Tigers are losing money because they have such low attendance, because there's a clause in the leasing agreement with the Forum where the Grizz actually have to pay the Tigers, like $800,000 a year if they meet their attendance requirement, and they've fallen short of that, so they actually have to pay that money. They're gonna lose that money. They won't get that money from the Grizzlies this year. So you bring in a Penny Hardaway, man, you're gonna bring the fans back, and you're gonna bring money back to the program that they desperately need right now.
Well, bro, I thank you for having today, for giving us this Memphis basketball update, bro. I know you got things to do on your end, bro, but I thank you for coming on the show as always. 3-Man Weave. Do it again next week, bro. We'll talk to you, man.
For sure. Anytime, boss.
No doubt. 3-Man Weave. We out.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hello, college basketball fans. This is Donnie Tyndall, former head basketball coach, and we're getting ready to have a top 3 with Tyndall with JR the Bossman and John, myself, as we analyze the college basketball season team by team, break down stats and facts, and give you all the basketball scoop across the country on a weekly basis. We hope you'll join us and look forward to talking hoops with you on the Bossman Show.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
All right, folks, back to the Bossman Show on your radio. It's time to talk with John. All Florida today. Are you ready, my brother?
Yeah, Lord, absolutely. I'm all ready. Now, listen, I want to say before this, with all that, stories that come up today, it's just jokes, JR. We're having a good time. We're not trying to insult anybody or anything like that, right?
Exactly. All jokes, nothing personal, all right, people? Nothing personal, all right? So, folks, you've been waiting on it. It's time for it. It's here. It's Boss Report. First of all, John, is Florida man arrested after being found conducting a naked spin class at an Orlando apartment complex after the video text surface of it on Instagram.
Okay, so I just want to point out that riding like a bike or something, like one of those spin machines naked, is going to end badly for you. As a man, or a woman, really. I mean, because that is just not an appropriate, situation for your backside to be in.
I know.
So I'm not sure how that worked out for him, but like, why does everything Florida man have to do, and not everything, let's say 95% of Florida man's activities end up naked, half naked, partially naked, there's always some form of nudity going on with Florida man. So I'm not sure. I mean, I think that we dove into this one week and we figured out a lot of it was because of the heat in Florida,
Yes.
but some of it, like right now, I don't think it's that hot down there. So I'm not sure like what my man was doing. Why did he have to do it in the parking lot? Like, dude, you couldn't go inside and then do your pirated, your pirated exercise class. Like, oh man.
Yeah, I tell you what there, brother, man. Oh, man. Florida man doing Florida man does. Look at this. A Florida man arrested after attacking a coworker with a machete in a fight over a power cord.
Jesus. That escalated quickly, bro. Like, wow.
Well, I got machete at work, though.
It's Florida, bro. Like, you never know what's coming down the line. When you work with Florida man and you are a Florida man, you better be packing some kind of weapon on you at all times, right?
Better believe.
I mean, just listen to the stories that we have every week from Florida man. If you are a Florida man and you work with a bunch of other Florida men, a machete is, I mean, that's just day-to-day business right there. I mean, you got that, it's like you're a rancher, back in the old Western days. You have your rifle on you at all times, like that's it. You better have some type of weapon on you at all times. But what kind of cord do you think this was? Do you think it was one of those like super awesome, power strips,
Probably one of them basic strips you get from like Dollar General or something. He probably went crazy about it. You having them cubicles.
Yeah, like, I mean, when they ration out, when you work in an office and they like ration out the office supplies, so like that power cord is like, it's almost like prison, dude. Like, like it's a hardcore, battle for that power cord. Like, it's a pack of cigarettes or something in prison, or like extra money on your commissary. You got to shank somebody for that thing.
Exactly. And Florida man being Florida man. Here we go. Florida man arrested after asking wife to hide the, quote, white powder in her box during traffic stop. Canine officer sniffs it out and bites the box off.
Wait a minute. You're saying the canine dog bit the box off?
Bit the box off.
Dude, and those things don't let go until they're told to let go. Like, it's not like he snapped at it. He grabbed onto that bad boy. That's not good, bro. I don't know if you've ever like had occasion to be next to or interact with the canine dog outside of a police interaction. Just like if you see them out somewhere at an event, or, and have the opportunity to like actually touch or see the dogs up close. Have you ever seen them?
I have at the Hawks or in the Hawks game. Yes,
dude, those things are freaking big, right? Yeah, you don't mess with a freaking canine dog, dude. You do not mess with them. Those things will bite you, and they will hold on to you until they are told to let go. And if you try to fight back, they will clamp down. Those things can bust up your bones. Easy, bro. Easy. They can crack your bones, no problem. Those dogs are freaking tough, dude. And if one of them grabbed onto the box with the white-filled powder, like, filled with white powder, it's even worse, because if he gets like a nose full of the white powder, he gets all cracked out.
Yeah, her box.
Dude, an L is for real. I mean, I don't know that you're using that thing anymore. Like,
yeah, I hate it.
Oh, Jesus.
I hate it.
Yeah, but you know what? We've said it before, JR, on the show. Like, we've had a lot of stories with a lot of contraband being trying to be smuggled in different orifices of the body, whether it be male or female. You don't want to go that route, man. Things are not meant to go, there's only a couple things that are meant to go in certain places. Some places are exit only. Right. Some places are exit only. You know what I'm saying?
You got that right, for sure. We got this church fellowship argument after Florida woman to toss wood chip a boyfriend and get arrested for infringing TJ Maxx because John, get this, the boyfriend allegedly to the woman grabbed onto some booty too long doing fellowship after communion.
He copped a feel during the fellowship?
Yes.
No way. Is there a more obvious, how are you supposed to even, hide that? You're at church, bro. It's one thing if you're up in the club, and everybody's kind of dancing around in a big group and, you cop a feel. It's freaky. It's kind of creepy, for sure, but, okay, at least in that situation, you have a chance of getting away with it. Not that I'm saying you should try it, but at least you have a chance of getting away with it. At church, what chance of getting away with it do you have? Literally, okay, you've heard the saying in front of God and everybody. My man literally did that in front of God and everybody. He was in church, bro.
And she went and got a wooden shelf out of the bathroom and beat him with it in the middle service. They fled to TJ Maxx. She fled to TJ Maxx, John.
Frankly, I was unaware that TJ Maxx was still in existence, to be honest with you. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either, brother, until this story.
Huh. Don't tell JC. He'll be trying to check into that. He'll want to see if it matches up with Cole's. Don't tell him.
Exactly. And look here, we have a Florida man arrested after burglarizing public toilets and pawning the plumbing loot so he can go buy him a car at CarMax.
I mean, dude, you know how many public toilets you'd have to vandalize and take the pipe from to equate to anything? They're not even copper pipes anymore. The piping, the copper piping would be inside the wall. So I don't know if he's busting the walls up to get to that, but anything that's exposed is just chrome plated steel. It's not even worth anything. You would have to have literally one of those giant roll-off container, a yard roll-off container to amount to anything.
Exactly. Florida man being Florida man. And John, here we go. Florida man who was an attorney and fellow Florida man who was a cop arrested for cocaine trafficking after being caught out in public trying to peddle some good white to an undercover cop.
Okay. Stupid. Why are you peddling it yourself is what I want to know. If you're a cop, then you've got a line on the criminal activity in the city, so you could, I would think, easily pinpoint someone who could move the weight for you without you having to deal with that aspect of it. Okay, so why are you even handling it? That's just stupid. So stupid. So stupid. I mean, I guess if you're a cop, you're not a criminal, right? Or you shouldn't be a criminal. So maybe they're just getting used to they were trying to learn the criminal ropes, maybe, JR? They knew the law enforcement ropes, but they were trying to learn the other side of it. I don't know what the excuse is, other than stupidity.
Exactly. And just try this. Florida man and Florida woman arrested after leaving their 6-year-old son in the truck outside the bar. They could go inside and root for the Miami Heat and get their freak on in the women's restaurant.
Jesus. What? I mean, at the very least, bring the kid in with you. I mean, it's not the best scenario, but at least you're not leaving him out in the freaking truck, dude. Just bring him in. Bring him in. Have him sit down. Get him a Coke. Whatever. It's better than leaving him in the vehicle like an animal. You shouldn't be doing anyway, but still. It's terrible. I mean, it's not I don't know. When I was a kid, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, periodically, my dad would take me to the bar up the street. He would go and have a beer or two. I'd get a bag of chips and a Coke. We'd watch a baseball game, and that was that. It wasn't like it was some big deal, you know? Now, it wasn't like some big, huge sports bar. It was just like a, like a 10-seat bar in this little shopping center. So it was like whatever. You went in there, nobody gave a crap. It's not like he was feeding me beers or anything. We were just hanging out, you know?
Exactly. John, this story reminds you of somewhere I used to work at, but just follow me here. Florida man is arrested after tripping over a chair in the office place and splattering crap on his co-worker and charged with simple assault. He tripped and crapped his pants and he got his car.
So they charged him with simple assault because of the crap hit the other person?
Yes.
Dude, come on, that's not even, don't throw that out, right? Like, there's no way that you could possibly, like, fake tripping over a chair and crap on somebody in the process of doing that on purpose. I'm sorry, there's no way.
He said when he tripped at the fart he was holding just went loose, quote, went loose.
Yeah, dude, that's totally plausible, right?
It is. When you holding it in, you probably could release, and it's all over for you.
Like you're hanging on for dear life, right? You're hanging on for dear life back there, and then something happens that makes you lose tone, and you're done, dude. You're done. Like, and if you're in motion, obviously, an object in motion stays in motion until it hits something else. And in this case, it was his poop was still moving, and it didn't stop until it cracked the other dude in the chest or wherever. Hopefully, it didn't hit him in the head. That would be terrible.
I wonder if they'll have a crap party.
We have to resurrect the crap party analysis boss report that was like 4 years ago, but maybe.
Yes, it was.
We have to go back in the archives for that one. We might have to just bring that back and play it. We'll just play it 1 week instead of doing a fresh report. We'll bring back some oldies but goodies, because that one, nobody's going to understand what we're talking about until they hear the actual,
That was some of the best takes ever.
I think we did like a half hour.
A half hour on that. That was a half hour on that. Literally a half hour.
Just so everyone knows what we're talking about, back in the day, JR had an office that was, somebody had an accident at the office, and it happened multiple times. But when it happened, they would throw a party for that person as to make them feel better about it. So they tried to make it a positive thing instead of a negative thing. So, obviously having it highlighted like that exacerbates the problem, because you just want to kind of like fade back into the cut and not have everybody like have the attention on you for pooping yourself at work. That's not the way they saw it. They had a poop counselor, they had poop parties, it was like an oops, I crap my pants party that they had. It was a whole thing. So we'll bring it back for you. We'll bring it back, but that's what we're talking about.
Yes, and John, I have more stories, but we run out of time in segments, so let's go we'll cut it short here. What is your take on Lay's report, man?
I'm actually kind of excited about the crap your pants party resurrection. I forgot about it until today, so it's like that was a great one. We did. It was a half hour, might even been more than that. But that was a great time in show history. Even off the air, analysis and conversations were fantastic. And I wish we had recorded some of those, because that was like a good 3 weeks of off-air hilarity in our personal lives.
Very much so, folks. Jared and John, Bossman Show. It's Boss Report.
And if you don't know, now you know,